I made this Hello Kitty box from just 15 inches of a 2x4 using mainly my bandsaw. Here's how. Cut 15 inches out of a 2x4. You can make 6 whole boxes with a single 2x4. At the price I paid my 2x4, this brings the cost down to 62 cents plus the paint. I run my 2x4 on the joiner to flatten both sides. You could use a planer to do almost as good, but this project works simply by skipping this step also. Just make sure to clamp harder later when we cut and join the pieces. Mark the board every 5 inches and cut at the marks. The thickness of those 3 pieces stacked will be the depth of the box. You can use more or less pieces for a different result. Glue the boards together using wood glue and clamps. If you flatten the board with a joiner or a planer, this is going to be easier. If not, just make sure to choose a nice part of the 2x4 and clamp it down real hard. Once dried, I used Gorilla Glue spray to attach a Hello Kitty template that I printed out. Scale it so that it fills most of the area to minimize waste and get a bigger end result. It's time to make the box. Start by cutting out the outer edge. This step is easier because you can go back and forth and you don't need to keep the trims. Go slow and make sure to get the ears nice and tight like the print. Here I'm trimming the inside of the ear to have sharp corners. Take your time here, it makes a big difference. Take your fence or clamp down a piece of 2x4 if you don't have one and slice about a 1/4 inch off the back of the box. I turn the ears down, which is more stable than running it with the round side down. Keep the offcut for later. Draw a oval where you want your drawer to be. Make it about a 1/4 inch from the bottom and side edge, and proportion it around the top and the ears. Enter the piece from the side, following the grain, and cut out the shape you just drawed. You can't go back and forth or ruin the offcut here, so take your time and go all around in one continuous cut. Similar to earlier, cut out the front and the back from the inside part. Here I'm using a screw clamp for safety, to avoid the pieces rolling during the cut. Draw another oval around the inside part, but it comes out from the top sides, like an uppercase U. Cut it out on the bandsaw. You can discard the inside piece. Before we glue everything back together, sand the inside of the jar and the box. I'm using a spindle sander, but the same can be done with a simple sandpaper. It's easier to sand it before adding the other parts to them. Take the pieces we cut out with the fence earlier and glue them back to the jar and the box. Try to align the grain, but we will sand it and paint it in this case, so just align it the best you can. Use clamps to hold your pieces together. This will make the joint extremely solid once dried. For the box, spread the opening a little bit and sand wood glue into it. Don't clamp it now because we need to re-add the back also first. Add glue around the back edge of the box and add the back like we did to the drawers. To make the eyes, nose and bow, I used a piece of 2x4 scrap I had. I resawed it to about a 1/4 inch and 1/2 inch. Draw the shape of the eyes and nose, then cut them out on the bandsaw. Be careful cutting small pieces on the bandsaw. I'm painting everything using acrylic paints from the dollar store. They will be all finished with a coat that will protect them later. I hand sanded everything at 120 grit. Since the 2x4 is made out of softwood, this was pretty quick and easy. Again, with the acrylics, I painted inside and out the drawers and the box. Start by placing the pieces without glue to make sure it looks good. Once you're ready, add wood glue and press them down. To help attach the bow, I dropped a pocket knife into the main box to raise the level of the drawer. This lets me glue the bow on the drawer only. The bow acts as a handle to open the drawer. I finished it with Minwax Polycrylic. It's a great finish that acts similar to polyurethane without the yellowing. It's water-based and dries very fast. I used 2 coats. Get it inside and outside. You want the protection from the drawer movements, which will ruin the acrylic paint in no time if not finished. For the whiskers, I used strips of black felt. Attach them with super glue for best results. Once dry, your Hello Kitty box is complete. This is a great project to get kids involved in the painting part, getting creative, making their own characters, or more fun things you can come up with. Thanks for watching. Like the video and subscribe if you want more content like this. See you next time.